right, thank you everybody for joining me today on this episode of The Urban Gardener. Today I'm going to just keep it simple. We're going to just talk about a couple of things. I have a huge thank you to send out, and we'll end the episode by planting out our tomato seeds and talking about our tomato plans for the season. So, first off, I just want to express to everybody who has checked out the episodes that I've put out so far. If you've watched them or liked them, I really, really appreciate you taking your time to do that. It's been great so far. I've been really enjoying this whole process of putting together this channel. It's just been a few episodes so far, and I just really want to express to everybody how much I appreciate it. The gardening and doing all that sort of stuff is going along. Everything's doing all right. There's some pluses and minuses with what is happening in the garden so far. We'll go over some of those things this next Friday, as what we'll do is another garden tour type of thing where we'll just check out the urban garden here. We'll take another trip down to the community garden. And I think that's probably something we'll kind of do as we kind of keep the garden vlog type style of what I'm doing here going. We'll try to do that maybe every other Friday is what I'm thinking about doing, and that way we can kind of keep a really good eye on what's happening throughout the season at the garden here and the one down at the community garden. So that's something that we'll kind of look forward to continuing to do as we kind of keep up with that. So the garden and everything like that has been great. There's been this whole process of getting things going, and it's been really fun, and I've been enjoying that part of it, as I do every season when it comes to gardening. I just really dig it. I'm really into it. So that has just been going great. But the thing that I have found to be the most biggest surprise in doing this whole process was the thing that I thought would be maybe the second most daunting thing next to getting in front of the camera, was the editing. Now, I haven't done anything with an editor really before. Never really tried that. So I got on, checked out a few other YouTube channels to find out how and what best to utilize for an editor. I found a nice cheap desktop editor to utilize, and just started shooting some videos and putting things together, started learning a few different things, and really right along on the fly with making these episodes. That's just been the best part. I mean, getting to really release my creative side and make these videos. We've gone through now, I guess, making our own soil, to planting out our peppers and our potatoes. We've got a lot of other things going on. We'll be checking out some of that stuff, like I said, this next Friday in our next garden tour. Later on, like I said, we're going to also plan out our tomato seeds and talk about exactly what we're going to be doing with tomatoes. So there's a lot of really cool, fun things coming up. I've got also some other ideas of things that I want to do. I want to get outside of the urban garden and the community garden and go see some things that I think you will really enjoy. So I'm really looking forward to being able to make some of those things happen with some future episodes. So I got some really great ideas and some things that I really want to do. So I really look forward to that happening too as well. So again, I really want to emphasize, any of you who are taking the time to watch this episode, the last 6 episodes, and the upcoming episodes that we got going, we're going to continue this vlog going. Like I said, I'm really having a great time. This has just really been an awesome process. I'm just really surprised at all of the sort of feedback I've been getting so far, and seeing that subscriber number go up is the ultimate feedback. It's really great. Please like the videos that you enjoy. Dislike the videos you don't enjoy if you don't. Please let me know if there's something that you want, or something that I could do maybe even better. I really want to emphasize that I'm not a professional gardener. I'm not a professional video maker doing anything like this so far, and doing all this stuff is pretty new to me. I've had a few years in the garden. I'm sharing the things that I do know so far, but if there's anything that you have that is advice at all, please get down in the comments. Go right down below in those comments and please let me know. I want to hear anything that anybody has to say. I really appreciate anybody taking the time to let me know anything that might help me out and help this channel out. I mean, that is just, it would be great. If you have questions for me, if they're not just gardening questions, could be just questions to me specifically. I mean, if you have any of that, please get down in the comments, ask questions, do what you gotta do. I can't wait to start interacting with everybody in that way more. That'll be great as people start adding comments to the videos. So please utilize the comment section down below, please. That'd be great. So I just want to kind of talk a minute about how I got here, doing this channel, making this channel. Why would I make this channel? What, you know, that sort of thing. First, I really felt that it would be a good thing to get out and utilize what I have, or share with what I have going on in my garden with other people. I don't have much. It's a small urban garden. I've got a couple of small community garden spots that I want to share. I have a lot of ideas about what I think some people would like to know or see when it comes to gardening. Plus, I'm just interested in the idea of vlogging and sharing with what I'm doing with people. So that's a real kind of thing that's kind of helped persuade me and push me into doing what I'm doing. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, where my huge thank you goes out to, and seriously, Ray, thank you very much for your influence and your positive nature and what you've done for the community and YouTube and gardening. It is amazing, your character, how you have influenced so many. I watch and see all of your videos, and I see how people respond to you, and I'm one of them. You know, and my response is to get out and pursue my creative side through making a gardening channel of my own through your inspiration. You're a huge inspiration to so many out there, and it's obvious if you've ever seen. Now, the people out there who are watching this right now who do not know who Ray Browning is, or the Praxxus55712 channel, I have a link down below, and I want you to stop this video right now. Go down, hit that link, go check out Ray Browning. He is one of the best people to get gardening advice. He's a huge influence in the gardening community. If you haven't seen him, please go check him out. He not only does a really cool little small farm, small garden type of vlog episodes that he sets up with the Praxxus channel, he also does an indoor home house plant type indoor garden where he does a lot of cool, neat things with plants. He shares so much great information. It's called the Voodoo Garden, as well as his, so I have that link down below as well. Please go check him out. Now I want to say that through his influence and a lot of other YouTubers out there as well. I watch a lot of other YouTube as well. I'm a huge fan of YouTube. And the people I've watched made me kind of think, hey, you know, it's really, maybe you should get out and do that sort of thing for yourself. And that's really kind of why I'm here, you know, is to kind of share with other people the sort of thing that I'm doing, and give myself a chance to really access and push that creative side of myself. So I'm really glad, really appreciate you all coming along with this garden adventure of mine. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna set up over here, and we're gonna get down and we're gonna plant out some of our tomato seeds and go over the tomatoes that we're gonna be planting this year in the urban garden. Before we get over to the tomatoes, I wanted to spend just a moment to talk about city water. For urban gardening, we mostly live in cities, or people who live in towns that have chlorinated water. I usually take one of my food grade buckets and I fill it up with water, let it sit over for 24 hours or more, and at that point in time I use it then to feed my plants. I like to give the chance for all those chlorines to get evaporated out of the water, as it would be. So just get yourself a bucket, fill it up, and just let it sit out there. I also do this for some plants during the summertime as well, just in case I'm having a problem with the filter or whatever that I put on my filter system. All right, let's get over to those tomatoes. Here we are, ready to plant our tomatoes out. So what I wanted to talk about is what we're going to be growing this season. So I have a few choices of tomatoes that we will be trying out for the very first time this year, and I have several that I've been growing for the last few years. One of the ones we'll be trying will be from my friend Chris at MTN Garden. We'll be trying his black cherry tomato that he was kind enough to send out to me. I have a few choices here. We're going to do a San Marzano for a nice paste tomato. I have also this Costaludo Fiorentino, a true black brandywine, which should be a nice, real large black tomato. I'm really looking forward to growing this one. I tried a couple of dark type tomatoes last year. Wasn't too, the flavor and whatnot weren't quite what I was looking for. This one though, I really got some good high hopes for, so I can't wait to try this one out when these fruits come out. And then we have this other one. All of these four come from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. This Tappy's Heritage will be also trying plant of those as well to check those out. So I'm really excited about some of these new ones that we're going to be trying. But I also have a couple of different varieties of tomatoes that I have saved myself and saved seeds from over the last couple of years. One tomato I did get from a friend of mine comes from Territorial Seed, which if you saw the last episode, we took a trip up to their store. I will be growing their pineapple tomato that they have featured out of the Territorial Seed catalog. So we'll be doing that tomato as well as a tomato that I got from the community garden a couple of years ago. Someone there was growing this really awesome looking, huge, it's yellow tomato, and it was delicious. It was just a great tomato. I had to save seeds from that. Grew it again last year, was just impressed with those tomatoes as well then this year, so I'm kind of really excited about growing those and hopefully having a great fruit to show you guys as well as we get into later in the season when they start fruiting. And plus I have another cherry type tomato that we'll be talking a little bit more about later on in the season, as I have something that I'm working on as well as far as that goes. So that is something to look forward to later on in the season as well. So if anything, the only clue I can give you is, you know, there's plenty about it going on right here on this channel. Probably won't include that little tidbit, but I'll throw it in there anyways, you know. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to plant out utilizing our 6-packs that we have here. I'm going to utilize 1 6-pack per variety. We're really only going to be looking for the strongest of out of the 6 strongest 2 or 3 plants based on what I'm going to do across the garden. We'll mainly grow maybe a couple of each types and then maybe a couple of extra of a couple of other types. Some seeds that I want to save for next year as well. So we'll be looking forward to doing all that sort of stuff with these tomatoes. I'm going to go ahead and get them planted out into these 6-packs, and then I'll check with you in just a moment. Okay, we finally got all of the tomato seeds planted out in our 6-packs that we're going to be growing this year in our urban garden. And like the peppers before, what we'll be doing is growing these out until they get so big. We'll decide which ones are the strongest. We'll cut out the other ones. We'll get down to the plants that we're going to be growing in our garden. If there's any other strong extra ones that are left over, I'll hand those out to some of my garden friends. Now, I want to thank you all very much for joining me today on this episode of The Urban Gardener. I know we kept it kind of simple, only talked about a couple of things and planted out some tomatoes, but I'm really glad that you came along to join me. Now, if you like this episode, please hit the like button below, and if you get a chance, hit that subscribe button. And if there's anything at all, like I said before, that you have any questions, any advice, or anything at all, please hit me up down in the comments section below. I'll be glad to talk with you. Thank you once again for joining me today. Say hi, Carl. No. Where's he at? Is that a no? Where he at? Oh, you don't know? Oh, okay. All right, let's go.